Welcome to Zambition, the channel on which we engage in dialogue with leaders from across sectors and generations. Greetings and welcome to Zambition. My name is Martin Kalungu Banda. Our guest today is Dr. Mutale Nalumango. I know she will introduce herself fully, but some of the elements that I would like to mention at the onset of this is she comes from a teaching profession or background, a trade union leader. She became a member of parliament and also the first female deputy speaker of our National Assembly. She is now the vice president of UPND and running mate to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema in this August elections. Dr. Nalumango, welcome to Zambition.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kalungu Banda.
Thank you for being here.
Wonderful.
What is the image or object that best describes who you are and the journey you have walked so far? And what have been the 2 to 3 most defining moments in your life?
Thank you, Doctor. I don't know what object I can use to describe myself. It's not easy because I'm not an artist and therefore my mind is flat. But I would describe myself as me, just me. What you see is what you get. What you hear is from my heart. So I live a simple, plain life that I don't have to hide from anybody. And therefore, I am the object of my object. I don't know the defining moments of my life. It's not easy again, because I've lived a life of extraordinary, I think, that in my younger years, I can't even tell you, Doctor, what I was feeling. I was just rolling on, an orphan in a village. It's not easy. So I think the interaction with my mother, I remember that because she brought me up. She did a lot. That is before I came to know the Lord the way I know the Lord now, the way I know Jesus now. I didn't, but she gave me such values of life that I think what a woman she was. So she kind of shaped my character. For her, it was truth and truth and truth. You get beaten. She says, get beaten. If you have to get beaten because you did something wrong, you don't have to push it to another of your siblings. So that is my mother. She told us, particularly on stealing, growing in a very poor home. I will not use environment because the environment at that moment was poor, but we were the poor of the poor. And even in that poverty, she told us, there was a coin called tiki, 3 pence. If you found it on the road, don't pick it. That's my mother. She said the owner may just come and look for it because somebody definitely dropped it. So I am thinking of those as some of the defining, times of my life. She left me a very strong woman because it made me go through secondary school. Boarding secondary school. I was at Kasama Girls, and it's not easy to be poor and in a boarding school because temptations are many. That includes when you are hungry and you have no food, and probably you are in a dormitory where people have packed what we call lockers with food, and you resist. Oh, I thank my mother for that. Being a teacher also helped me understand my values, that life is not about me. Life is about serving somebody to, or helping somebody to attain the very maximum of what they want to be or what you would like them to be. Being a teacher, it taught me to care so much about these pupils that sometimes I think, was it normal? Is it okay? But that's it. And I think it's in many of the teachers. That's why when results are out, you want to see the results of your pupils. Even before you see your own child, you want to see, oh, this one has made it. That is something that has helped my life also, being a teacher, seeing people grow, pupils grow into men and women. And sometimes you meet them today, they are doctor something, they are whatever. Or I just say, give me chalk bonus, Mwana. I did break the chalk for you. So that is something that has helped also in my life to push within myself the agenda of service. Life is not about you and you and you. It is the people around you, the people you serve. So that too is probably one of the things. Being a teacher is one of the things that has helped me to be what I am today, a politician whose focus is service.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Nalumango. In fact, as you talk about your mother, our mother, you remind me one of the sayings people usually quote, that ethics is in the mother's milk.
Mm-hmm.
How we behave, the moral standing we stick to in our adult life comes from that very early moment when we were still suckling from our mothers. Thank you for sharing that. But because you also talked about mothers pushing sincerity, I would like to also own up and share with you that although I have been fortunate enough to teach in some of the best universities in the world, I don't have a doctorate. I'm just a mister. So just wanted to share that. Yeah.
Okay. So I am the doctor. Mine is honorary. It is not that I have studied for it. Some university thought I had done enough in the Christian walk, and political, it's a social science, humanities actually, that I got an honorary degree. So you call me doctor, I thank God, but sometimes I feel embarrassed.
No, I have seen you at work and I can see why they conferred on you. I had the opportunity to serve for a short period of time in government when you were a leader in the same government. I do hear them when they recognize you that way.
Thank you. Thank you. What did I call you, doctor? Is it me, my mind? That's what I say anywhere. Dr. Kakungu Panda, I am sorry.
It's just Martin. It's just Martin. But thank you very, very much for your kindness.
Thank you. Thank you.
My next question is, what is your view on what got us here as a nation? What are the deeper issues that we need to address going forward?
Yeah. What has brought us here is actually ourselves. Strange. Sometimes I think, as you are asking me the question, we have, as Zambians, brought ourselves here because we never take things seriously. We take politics as a game, as is said all over the world, that politics is a game of numbers, is a game, is a dirty game, is a game of what? In my own thinking, and now even as I go campaigning, I'm telling people, don't say politics is a game or even a dirty game. Say politics is a serious business. But because in our minds it's a game, and particularly in my country, politics is nabobalieko. Let them eat. You know, it is a get-rich game, like soccer. Play soccer, you have a talent, you may become just rich. This is what has brought us here. We have failed as Zambians to scrutinize the people that are seeking political office. We have not. I hope that this time around, people will be serious, will scrutinize, they will know who is this Nalumango, what has she been? But we can even paint each other black for no reason, something that you don't even know, you create. And therefore you distort the political environment, and people, ourselves, start voting carelessly. I say carelessly, particularly to Christians anywhere in the world. You don't stick in there and just go to vote, whether it's your party. First pray if you're a Christian. Is this what God wants at this moment in time? But because we have been very careless, we are voting, vote, it doesn't matter. And this is the result. I will not talk about individuals, but politics is about individuals. That's why I have said politics is not a dirty game. This I have repeated 1,000 times over. It is the players that are dirty. So if you get dirty players and you want the game to be clean, then you really are lost. Scrutinize us, then you get the best that you can for our nation, for yourself.
We have brought ourselves
Zambia,
here.
we have
And
brought
it's up to us to get out of ourselves out of where we are.
Yes. Nobody will do it for you.
Thank you. Dr. Nalumango, our relationship with power, as you have alluded to, is said to be one of the key challenges we face as a nation and as a continent. When you served in government, I've had the fortune of serving President Mwanawasa, but I've also had the chance to travel in different parts of Africa, supporting those who work with ministers and heads of state. Hero worshipping our leaders is a key challenge. It gives the impression that there is only one clever person who will solve the challenges our country faces. How will you and President Hichilema address this? How do you currently relate to your fellow leaders in UPND?
Yeah, thank you. I think the first part of your description of the environment and power and hero worshipping is very, very important. But do we hero worship because we want to? I'm just thinking aloud here. Do we really, hero worship because there is a demand on us? The hero worshiping is by political leaders to another or of another political leader of a higher level, particularly presidents. In my thinking now, I could be wrong tomorrow. But as I sit here, I think this comes in because politics is a job to many of us. Politics is a paying job. Because you are there, and like we said, some things I've said in the beginning, politics has become the highly paying, simple job, where in my country is grade 12. You can become the richest person in your constituents. And therefore, because it's a source of livelihood, and we reach a point where we can't let go of the kind or the standard of living that we have established. And for us political leaders, most of it is dependent on the president because you are an appointee. You start hero worshiping. A lot of it is pretense. And I have seen it. I am sorry, but I've seen it. People that really seem to be friends of the president, and he is not there. The language is so different that you don't know whether you are talking about the same person with the same people that you have seen them. So there is hypocrisy because of the money that you get. So hero worshiping, believe you me, that's why we come out, and tomorrow I will say, no, I was not the president. and even say, why do people change from one political party to another and they literally start insulting another political party? If they were genuinely hero worshipping, if they believed these heroes were heroes, you would not change your mind so quickly. So this is the problem that we have as political leaders in terms of hero worshipping. How do I relate with my colleagues, political party leaders in my party? It is difficult again for me to describe on their side. Maybe they are in the category I've talked about. Maybe they are genuine, but for me, I am genuine, Martin, with everybody. I will try. Like I've said, when I don't like something, I will not talk about it. But if I have to talk about it, I must be honest. And I'll say, this is not doable. This is not correct. I'm not vulgar. I am not rude, but I state facts, I think, nicely. I speak to people, and I would rather deal with individuals. When they are wrong, I'll say, this is not correct. I relate very well. Martin, how do you think I won as VP, Vice President of the party? I won. Don't relate it to being running mate. These are totally two things, but maybe not even VP. Talk of winning the intra-party election. How do you think I got that overwhelming support? But I'm not saying everybody likes me or I'm good. No, but I'm open. I'm an open book. They'll read through. And I'm just so simple. You'll find it difficult to find some complication somewhere. So I relate very well. And I try to know my colleagues, try to learn the strengths. And I would rather we dwell on the strength of each one, then we move on, knowing we all have negatives, including myself.
Have you thought about how power might change you? I know you have been in power before. Being a minister in our country is a big deal. Anywhere else in the world, being deputy speaker in parliament is a big deal. Being vice president, particularly an elected vice president, is absolutely powerful. Have you thought about how that might change your openness?
It is indeed, there is that possibility, and it is scary. But there are two ways that power can change me. I may discover things. In life, you go on, I am the vice president. Then I discover this is the way it is done. And it is not an open thing for everybody. The person who will see me will see hypocrisy, but it's because I've moved on. I've learned new things, new responsibility. On that score, it is almost unavoidable. But to change my personality, I pray not. To change my personality, no, Martin. I pray God help me. Already it is so stressful to be a dolly for Martin. I really would want to be me. Me, plain and simple. Meet with people, sit on the mat, eat in the village. Oh, that is me. So I pray that if power is going to change my personality, and I'm sorry for myself. I am sorry, but I have no intention. And I seriously mean praying to the living God that should not happen. But changing my way of doing things is very possible because I've never been a vice president before.
Thank you.
So,
we will take a little break, Dr. Nalumango, and when we return, yes, I will ask you what your ambition is.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for a place to work from? Do you want to develop your leadership skills? Do you have an idea or business you'd want to scale? Are you looking for a place to host training and learning events? If you answered yes to any of the questions, then Impact Lusaka is the place for you. It is a social innovation hub that is part of Impact Hub global network that supports various entrepreneurs and social innovators. Our services, among others, include co-working space, event hosting, incubation and acceleration programs, capacity building in leadership and business.
Welcome back. Our guest today is Dr. Mutale Nalumango, Vice President of UPND and running mate in the same political party with Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Dr. Nalumango, what is your ambition? What is your highest aspiration for our country? In other words, why should people in Zambia, of Zambia, vote for you and Mr. Hichilema?
Thank you, Martin. Zambition is not English, but
We made it up.
it's a good one, though. I should learn it. Yeah, what is really my highest aspirations for our country? And that's why I'm here, Martin, because I believe that with good leadership, things can change. Remember, I was part of good leadership, whether people like it or not. Even the time you are referring to, I think we tried to move forward. And I was trained by that man, Levi Mwanawasa, in terms of how he saw Zambia. He was passionate. Maybe this is what has continued to push me. Remember, my entry into national politics was Kaputa. Yeah. And then I was made to grow into national, having a national perspective. Why here today? Because I believe that Zambia can genuinely develop. There is a total disconnect or imbalance between the development in our country and the natural resources that God has endowed this nation with. And I'm a strong believer that using the resources, I should even include the natural and human resources, properly placed, this Zambia can be far much better. My village can be better. People don't have to drink water from the same pool with animals. People don't have to go start drawing water, just water. There is a lot of resource coming in, even through the borders, before we even, just a border like Tunduma and Hakainde. But you look at the road from Hakainde, the Great North Road. Let nobody tell me, because I was there. I was there. On Saturday, that was my last travel on that. Yet there is money that we are getting. And that is what hurts me, because we have the resources. We can develop our country. Our children can go to school. I went to school myself. I told you who I am. The poor among the poor today can be called doctor. Today, there's nothing special. It's because I had that education. The resources are there. I don't want to look like, you don't sound too political, Martin, but I don't want to sound like I'm doing a political, analysis. But look, you can't say there is no money here. We even can pick gold in Mwinilunga. We can literally pick gold. What has come out of the picked gold today? Zero. We can go and buy a fire tender of $350,000 at 1 million. This is how irresponsible we have been. With a responsible government, surely, Martin, should we remain with these roads? Should we still have children sitting on logs in a mud belt, classroom? Do we really still need, like I have said, to have no medicine, In hospital, do we? Where does the money go to? So my aspiration is to see a prosperous country with a happy people. People that are benefiting out of what God has given. We can share a little. You don't have to amass. You get so much, you get sick. While
Could you
others
translate?
are,
Could you translate for me what Katubi means?
oh, Katubi, Kisungu. Katubi is basically, what is it? The English is gone. Basically, you are greedy, but I think it is a glutton.
Glutton.
I think it is. I hope that is English.
It is.
I think you are gluttonous. You are consuming everything because of greed until you get sick.
Yeah.
And others are watching you hungry. I am expecting a Zambia that will have hospitals, that will have the right staff, the right doctors, the right equipment. Currently, I was talking to health workers at some point. They gathered and called me. You would cry no matter how strong you are. I was like, because they were saying, madam, a person is, dying, because you can see poverty even in the eyes of a mother who brought in a young lady. But because they couldn't even find, you call them sutures, they can't even afford a cannula. This is in a level 1 hospital. You don't have a cannula. And somebody's about to die. This young doctor says, I had to get something out of my pocket to say, go to the pharmacy, buy something. We don't need that. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I am here to push Hakainde to do the right thing, to see that as a team, we will get our salaries, and that should be it. It is your entitlement, but please don't go beyond your entitlement. And please consult. There's no politician who is down. I am not down, Martin, because I have you to ask. I have somebody else to ask on issues, to formulate proper policies, not just stated, formulate and see to the implementation. Zambia can be far much better. What do they have? I don't want to talk about other countries. What do they have in Mauritius, for example? We have so much. And I'm praying that the 5 years of Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND should leave people saying, wow, why did we take our time? But that means self-control. People in Hakainde's government must control themselves from being greedy, gluttonous, and, make other people poor. That, you know what I call that? Witchcraft. The richness of Africa is witchcraft mentality. You are not rich unless somebody is suffering. That's when you feel rich. When you are all the same, you are not rich. We want to get out this witchcraft mentality so that we can work to try and bring people, pull everybody up from the level they are. That is what I think of my country. And that's why I can be chaste. That's why boys can say, now I'm coming to beat you up at the radio station. Somebody was threatening me on Thursday, in Nakonde. God help my country.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your reflections. And my final question is, imagine Mr. Hichilema wins the August presidential elections.
Yes.
And just before he gets to be sworn in as our head of state, you get the chance to whisper in his ear. What is the most valuable piece of advice you would give him, knowing very well that you will also be sworn in on the same ticket? So therefore, it's also your advice.
To myself. I can't think of anything big, but Martin, I'll simply remind him that we are here to serve Zambians. Don't forget, we are here to serve Zambia. That would be my shortest sentence to him.
Dr. Nalumango, it has been awesome, as usual, learning from your fountain of wisdom. And I hope that that openness still remains, regardless of what position and status in the next few weeks you gain in our society. I wish you well, and I wish you good health.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity to see you and just to share with you. Thank you, Martin. God bless.
Having listened to the dialogue and followed my conversation with our guest, I now invite you to look at the drawing that emerged out of that dialogue. Take time to see the contours, the colors, the images that are reflected on the painting, on the drawing. And pay attention to what the drawing evokes in you. What are the feelings? What are the thoughts that are ignited by you looking at the painting? What thoughts does the painting generate in you with regard to your own leadership? What thoughts, feelings, and images does this painting evoke in you with regard to the future of our country? What else does this painting make you think and feel? Kindly share your reflections on this channel so that we can continue the dialogue on the future of the country we all love, on the future of our nation,